What's up guys, Houndish here, and it's that time of the week in Destiny 2, and we're back for another weekly reset. So, this week we have the return of Iron Banner for the second time in Season 8. That brings new Pinnacle sources for the week, and we're getting updates to Pinnacle power later on in the week, so we'll break down what's going on with all of that. And then of course, Festival of the Lost continues in the game. The new dungeon has reset its rewards. We'll cover the moon rotation of content, as well as vendors, activities, and pretty much everything else you'd expect from the weekly reset. And so first up, we should talk about the update to Pinnacle gear, as well as a bit of a warning if you want to take advantage of the changes that we're getting this week. So on Thursday, we're going to see a hotfix where all Pinnacle power rewards will be updated to grant +2 power on each drop, instead of just +1. Now that's a pretty decent buff to how much power we'll actually obtain from the drops. However, if you want to get the updated drops, you will need to hold off from completing Pinnacle rewards until Thursday. We don't have an exact time for when the hotfix is going to drop on Thursday, so the best thing to do is to watch the Bungie help pages on Twitter or bungie.net, and I'll also keep you updated here on the channel with patch notes and all of that stuff when the change actually goes live. Now in the tower, the Iron Banner is pretty much the main event of the week, so in itself, it's a very good source of Pinnacle power drops via the bounties. And so of course the same thing applies here. Remember not to turn them in before Thursday. And I'm not sure, to be honest, when the power is generated for the engrams. It could be when the bounty objective's complete, or it might be specifically when you turn the bounty in. So if you guys know how that works, let us know in the comment section. But if in doubt, you can always edge them to completion, and then finish them after we get that update on Thursday. Of course, there is the Iron Banner quest for the new Season 8 armor. You also have to complete this in order to actually turn in the bounties, and then the banner engrams that Saladin has for the tokens can drop weapons, and we can preview a bunch of them inside of the engram. But then otherwise we get 4 Pinnacles per week, per character, now that Bungie have actually fixed the bounty glitch. And yeah, the game mode for the week is Control, so have fun if you jump in. As always, Banner will end next week on the weekly reset. Of course, in terms of other Crucible playlists, you can view them on the director, so we've got Iron Banner right there, but we've got Rumble, we've also got Control, the classic version, Survival up there, and then Countdown for the competitive modes. Of course, Crucible Labs. We've also got Momentum Control still featured up there, so if you're enjoying that mode, you can still jump in for the moment, apparently. Now, moving over to the moon, of course, Eris's inventory has refreshed right here, and we've got all of the typical kind of weekly and daily bounties. In terms of the memory quests, if you are completely up to date, then of course we've finished them, and for the moment she doesn't have anything else like that. Although she does have the little kind of dialogue piece when you first go and visit her, so I believe that is a way to drop some additional kind of moon lore every week. But yeah, bounties from Eris, and of course, the Lectern stuff over here. And then on the map, we do have the Nightmare Hunts, the weekly, powerful, and Pinnacle gear. So we've got Nightmare Hunt Insanity right there. We also have Anguish, and then down here, we've got Pride. So if you're hunting anything specific, of course, you can search for those nightmares inside of those hunts. We did speak a few days ago about potential kind of different dungeon difficulties. We can see here that we do have the Pinnacle gear listed. Once again, bear in mind the changes to Pinnacle gear on Thursday. But yeah, in terms of difficulties, we just have the standard mode still available, but of course, the loot and everything inside of there has refreshed. On the subject of the Altar of Sorrow weapons, of course there is a daily rotation, so according to that, today we should be able to pick up the sniper rifle. Tomorrow on Wednesday should be the rocket launcher, and then the shotgun should be available again on Thursday. Of course, from there it just keeps cycling, but considering this only dropped last week, just a quick heads up if you want to hunt any of those weapons. Of course, Festival is still running in the game, and do I see some loots up in the tree? I do. It looks like the kind of candies and stuff that we can grab out of the tree are resetting on a weekly basis, so that's pretty interesting stuff. Also last week, I believe, we did get a powerful right here, of course, for completing or defeating terrors, in the Haunted Forest, but also the Pinnacle drop for getting that Branch 9 clear. Otherwise, you can continue the grind to pick up the auto rifle, any of the masks, and all of that good stuff. In terms of powerful drops and stuff like that, of course, all of the director, the vendors, activities, and stuff like that will show them, but the flashpoint for this week is going to be over on Titan. Considering there is an event taking place right now, we'll check out the Eververse store for today. So we do have, of course, featured items for silver, so you have to purchase these with microtransaction currency. But for the front page featured Bright Dust section, we do have the Bone Boogie emote, so pretty cool stuff if you haven't picked it up yet. We've got the exotic ship, the Dismodus, I believe that's how you say that. Pretty interesting stuff. And we do have other featured items, the Looming Moon transmit effect, the Basalt Toxic, is that how you say that, man? Crazy names. We've also got the Shadow Strike shader and a couple of gleaming boons and things like that. There is the festival specific page that also sells stuff for silver right there, and then of course the Undying page. But then we can scroll down to the main kind of Bright Dust section, and so we've got a couple of projections. We've got the Jack-O-Lantern mask right there, and the Broom Swept Knight. So pretty popular sparrow, of course, for this event. You can pick it up for Bright Dust today. How much does it cost? We got a 2,500 Bright Dust to pick it up, so that's pretty cool stuff. We've got the ship that was also on the front page, and we've got the Gensim Relic Shell, which I believe is a pretty cool looking shell right there. The Jacko Shell, also for 2,850 Bright Dust, and then we've got the Tombstone emote as well to pick up this week, and other shaders and things like that. So pretty decent inventory, I suppose, of festival loots, and you can check out the rest of it in-game. Otherwise, we'll be checking out the Nightfall Ordeal, so this one takes place in Hellas Basin, so it's going to be one of the Mars Nightfalls for the Ordeal this week. But then, of course, there is the kind of other Vanguard Strike playlist, and the Classic Nightfalls, so let's jump in and see what we've got there. Tree of Probabilities, that one will drop the DFA hand cannon, which is pretty popular. We've also got Will of the Thousands, and here you can get the Worm God Incarnation Transmat effect, and then Broodhold. And I don't believe there's a specific drop for this one because it was the old PlayStation exclusive. Although for Heroic Strike modifiers today, we do have Arcsinge, Blackout, and we've got Grenadier featured. Of course, for the moment, Hawthorne does have standard kind of year 2 raid bounties right there, but we will be getting the first challenge for the new raid. I believe that's next week, so that'll be interesting to jump in and check out. But you can pick up clan bounties to help your clan progress with those weekly engrams. And then, of course, Akora is still working on the portal, so she will have all of the bounties associated with Vex Offensive and that good stuff. But we can see just a little bit of progress on the portal again this week. So yeah, only a couple of weeks left until we jump in to that final assault inside of Vex Offensive. It'd be cool to check that out, but otherwise, be sure to check out the other vendors in the tower, the Gunsmith for his bounties, and the weekly bounties that can drop Bright Dust and stuff like that. For some of the legacy content, if you are jumping into the Menagerie, we've got Arcsinge, Blackout, and Grenadier for the normal mode, and then for Heroic, Extinguish, Grenadier, Famine, and Solar Singe up today. But if it's Reckoning you're jumping into, we do have Arcsinge and then Brawler available, so that should be a pretty fun combination. When it comes to the escalation protocol on Mars, Naxod the Famine is going to be the boss this week, and that boss can drop any of the escalation protocol weapons randomly when you take them down. Also for year 2 content in the Dreaming City, we are on week 1 of the Curse, and so the Ascendant Challenge is the Forfeit Shrine, which is accessed via the Garden of Isilla. If that's one you need the location for, then I will run gameplay at the end of the video, and so you can check that out if it's useful. But otherwise, that sums up everything that we really need to break down for Weekly Reset. And so, as always, I'll keep you posted on news, updates when we get those changes later in the week, any secrets and unexpected things that we might find along the way as well. So, if you're new to the channel and you do enjoy the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button so I can keep you up to date. But if you've enjoyed this video, a rating below really helps me out, guys. Let us know what you're playing in the game this week, whether it's Iron Banner or getting back out there to suppress the Hive on the moon. Safe to say there are still plenty of things for us to check out in the game. As always though, here is that Ascendant Challenge gameplay. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome week.
Down. Guardian down. Guardian down.